We're live now.
We're live. Hello, welcome. I'm Alex Mack, part of the Call to Action crew, and we are live right flipping now. Yes, we are. Kevin, how you doing over there?
I'm matching the thumbnail, so I'm trying to come out with my knife and then.
That
What is this? Oh gosh! Look at this, beautiful. I mean, it's still the best. It's still the most beautiful belt in the business. Let's look at that.
What a sexy belt.
Oh my God. I sleep with it every night. I hope my girlfriend doesn't mind, but yes, I love it. Love the belt, and I love the fans, and I love the community just saying hi and saying hi to the belt. And I'll go back to my corner like Jake wants me to be.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I have a slew of really fantastic personalities and competitors here. Holy fuck. That's so much awesome going on around. Okay. So I'm Alex Mack, as I said before, and I'm going to be here hosting Schmoebates. If you don't know what that is, Schmoebates is a Schmoedown themed debate show I host here every Wednesday at 9:30, but today's a wee bit different, so thank you for adjusting for us. And Kevin Smets, IG champ, what up? It's gonna be.
How you doing? I'm excited. Thanks for having me. I'm a fan of the show. So I think I texted you after the first one or the second one, and I was like, "Oh, keep this up. This is great." So it's kind of cool to be a judge. I mean, when you when the call came out that Frank needed an opponent. And you asked me at first, I was like, no way, dude, I'm not that crazy. But I think we have a crazy guy right here that's willing to do the challenge.
Yes. I'll let you do the intro. What is a crazy eye situation? You look like what's his face from Parasite when you do that.
Me? This one?
No, wait. What? No, Brandon. Remember the movie
Brandon.
Parasite, where he's like hiding out under at the stairs? Parasite. Remember?
Oh yes.
Am I allowed to talk yet? Or
We're
no?
so terrifying and like complete blackness against the wall. Anyway, okay, off topic.
Spoiler alert.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Crazy. Yes, and I do want to let y'all know, beard game is strong within this match today. Absolutely. It was all for you, Janine, really.
I haven't shaved for like 6 months. This is the best I can do. So
yeah, I feel you. Anyway, regardless. Okay, so going in today, just kind of go again. I would say we have Brandon, Hanna. Holy fuck. Oh my gosh. How do you feel going in today?
How do I feel?
Yes.
I mean, come on, all you babies, you cowards. I don't want to play Frank. He's so good. He knows all the stats. I don't want to play him. No. Well, I rose to the occasion.
Amen.
That's it.
Rawr.
Circle gets the square.
I dig it. Absolutely. Yeah. I know you said you're not scared of Frank at all, but do you have any like kind of strategy going into this match today?
I've never been scared a day in my life, you know? So against Frank, do I have a strategy? I might have a strategy. I might not. Who?
That's fair. That's fair.
I've never heard that name before in my life.
Tell me
yeah, Frank, strategy. Yeah, my strategy, I think, is just to win.
Okay, I feel you. Winning is always a good thing. Or about you, Frank? Frankie Numbers.
I didn't hear a word of what you just said because my internet is bad.
Well, I hope it gets. That
better. Was my Bibiani pose.
Oh, that's good.
He does that a lot. It's like his thing.
It's good.
Wait, it's more like right there. All right, well, Frankie, you're definitely a numbers man. You're Frankie Numbers himself. And I mean, you're literally all about the stats, all about the numbers specifically. So going into this, is that going to be
big Smasher fan too? He brought this with him to stay with me. He
I made it
in this. It's like a
right next to me. It's a blanket. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's great. All right. I feel so safe with this.
Is that your version of a IG champion belt?
No, this is my version of a weighted blanket for all of my anxiety. Yeah.
There you go.
No, great to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm glad you could finally find somebody to play me, even though I don't know what I deserve for this. No one wanted to play me kind of thing. I thought that's pretty funny. I'm just here to have a conversation with Hanna, and that's it. And
a very it's not going to get heated or anything at all, right? It's not going to be strong, no raised voices.
No. I mean, probably. Yeah.
Why does Brandon look like he's from 1997 AOL account? Like, what is going on with you, pal?
How many hours you got on that CD? 1,000 hours from that CD?
You got 500 hours left on Instant Messenger? Come on, bro.
Stop it. Okay, well,
Brandon, you see that bright light behind you? Yeah, that's exactly where you're going by the end of this match.
Wow, good shot.
Shots fired already.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys a little bit more about the format. If you have not been part of an episode before, thank you so much for checking us out and hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. I know we had a handful of very new subscribers, so thank you for hanging out with us. So how we do our debates, we have 3 questions. So the first question is something like very themed on Schmoedown history, referencing all the seasons overall. The second question is referencing Schmoedown into the future, the upcoming season. And the third and final question is really whatever the fuck we want it to be. It's a fun time, really. So, and that definitely reflects on the kind of like weird little questions and answers that we get supplied with our competitors. So, now that being said, we also start with an opening statement for 60 seconds apiece, an open debate for 4 minutes exactly, as well as 60 seconds for a closing statement. All right.
Got it.
Right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump to it. We're going to get started with, I know Brennan, the hot man himself, is actually going to be starting with an opening statement for our first question. And you have 60 seconds on the clock. And Kevin, you ready to read it away?
I am ready. I got my announcer voice, trailer voice ready. Where am I looking at it? Where do I see it?
I can click it right now whenever you tell me.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you go ahead. I'm ready. In a world, what is the biggest upset in Schmoedown history? Have at it, gentlemen.
Well, Hanna, actually.
Oh, Hanna. Yeah.
For the opening statement. Yes. Who did you choose? Or what
right now? Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, for the greatest upset in Schmoedown history, I choose the upset that all other upsets are looked to, the bar that all other upsets are compared to, and that is Andrew Ghai TKOing Dangerous Dan Murrell. It is obviously the greatest upset in Schmoedown history. Dan Murrell is the greatest player of all time. He has one of the greatest accuracies of all time. Andrew Ghai's accuracy is at like 57%. It's a miracle that even happened at all. It was a perfect set of circumstances. That guy was just asked particular questions that he just happened to know the answers to, and it turned him into a living legend. Okay? Listen, and Frank himself even was in so much disbelief that Ghai would win that he actually bet Ghai that if Ghai won, that Frank would move to California, and it finally happened, 2 years later? Are you kidding? Come on. No, that is ridiculous. It's not even a contest. I don't even know how much time I have left, but yeah, Frank sucks, and he's going to lose this one.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're good. Okay, awesome. Okay, that's definitely. I remember that being one of my favorite matches of that season. It still is one of my favorite matches in general. Kevin, what do you think of his selection?
I mean, that's the no-brainer. When you were starting the whole thing of what was going to be, it was just who was going to answer it first. I'm glad that we're going to give Frankie Numbers a little challenge here because everybody sees him as the favorite going into this. So he's got a big hill to climb. There's plenty of other upsets that he can choose from too. We're going to be interested to see which one you choose and if you can try to disprove. Great points and a great joke by Hanna to start it off. So we go. Right. It's good. I love it.
What can Frankie Numbers do to challenge that? Indeed, starting with 1 minute starting now.
Here's the greatest upset of all time. Mark Ellis losing to Stacey Howard in the 2017 Schmoedown singles tournament in the first round. Mark Ellis was coming into that tournament as the defending champion of that tournament. He won it the year prior. Now, Brandon Hanna is going to, tell you that I made this bet with Andrew Ghai that if he won, I would move to LA. Well, guess what? I've always wanted to move to LA. I made that bet hoping it would come true because it's been my dream to move here. So to say that I made that bet because I didn't think he was going to win, that's just not accurate. Now, here's the other thing. Stacey Howard was one of the more underrated players, has been for quite some time, and she has a win over one of the legends of the game, a founding father of the Schmoedown, him and Christian Harloff. He had a pedigree coming into this, that match with Stacey Howard like no one had before in terms of an upset, and you're going to find out why that's a big deal in this next, part of our discussion.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're good. All right. We have our opening statements down. Ellis and Howard against Ghai and Merle. So these two massive matches against champions as well. Do you feel like, Kevin, do you feel like Ellis and the Ellis-Howard match, do you feel like is going to be a good contender against it?
I think so. We'll see. I think he said one thing that I want to mention at the end of this round that could come back to bite him. We'll see if Hanna picked up on it. The only one that I would think that he would have picked other than that would be the Cody Miller, an Olympic player, beating JTE, who is like one of the legends. That was pretty crazy. No one thought coming in that an Olympic athlete was going to beat. So that he didn't go that route, that he went with this with Ellis and Howard. We'll see how that goes. So I'm interested to see. It's going to be a tall order to beat. Still, I think that Hanna kind of not lucked in, but he chose the one that everybody thinks. So it's up to Frank to change everybody's mind, and that's why we're here.
Well, that's what he does for sure. I mean, he's all about the facts. He's all about the numbers, but absolutely. Brennan is definitely playing to the audience, being part of, this is a very action focused.
Yes.
Action
absolutely.
love.
Yeah.
That's for true. Okay. Well, you guys have 4 minutes on the clock starting right meow.
Listen, for all you voters out there, if you vote for Frank, that means you hate Andrew Ghai. And do you want Andrew Ghai to think that he hates you? I don't think you do. Andrew Ghai wants to love you, and you want to love Andrew Ghai. And the way he gained your love, he gained your trust and support. When he TKO'd Dan Merle and shocked the world, I was there. You could hear a pin drop in that room. Everyone was in shock.
Well, let me tell you something. Andrew Ghai match.
Probably not.
Because... So here's the thing about that match. Everyone could see once that match started, we got halfway through like that first round, even at the end of that first round with Andrew Ghai leading. From there on out, we kind of, Dan Merle never really took a lead. And Stacey Howard and Mark Ellis, Stacey Howard trailed the entire match. She lost the first round. She got outscored in the first round, got outscored in the second round. She came back in that final round to tie it up, to force it to sudden death. Now, the difference between Stacey Howard's win and Andrew Ghai's win is it's a better ending for Stacey Howard. She had a better ending than Andrew Ghai. We saw Andrew Ghai's win coming every single round. It wasn't really a surprise. Sure, it was a shock to see Dan Merle lose to Andrew Ghai, but the better ending is with Stacey Howard defeating Mark Ellis in overtime. So 2 questions, she beat him on the second question in overtime and beat him, and it's a great finish to a tournament match against a reigning tournament winner.
Better ending, better finish. Those words mean nothing to me, okay? What is a bigger upset? A really, really close match that went into overtime when Stacey Howard beat, a legend of the game, or when Andrew Ghai, someone that up until that point everyone thought was a joke, beat the greatest player of all time. And he didn't just beat him. It wasn't close. It didn't go to overtime. He knocked him out. Okay, like this isn't even a contest.
Dan Merle at that time was challenged for the greatest of all time by Sam Levine, who currently had the belt. So for him to come back 10 months later after he retired wasn't the same Dan Merle, wasn't peak Dan Merle. He came back to a game he didn't understand, wasn't prepared for. Andrew Ghai took advantage of that, not how much he knew about trivia. So Andrew Ghai made it more about spectacle than it was knowledge, and that's the reason why Dan Merle wasn't at his best, because 1, he wasn't prepared. 2, he just wasn't peak Dan Merle. Mark Ellis went to his match again. He took peak Dan Merle in 2016 to the brink at Spectacular. He played a great tournament, won it against John Rocca, who would eventually win the belt. And Stacey Howard beat Mark Ellis in a first round match when she was seated way below Mark Ellis going into that tournament.
Listen, okay, the key word that you put out there was spectacle. And to me, a spectacle it has to be a part of a moment that you refer to as the greatest upset in Schmoedown history. In any sport, if you see an upset, you want that to be a spectacle. Otherwise, it's not an upset, it's just a disappointment. Okay. And my strongest argument for why this is the biggest upset of all time is you go back to that match and you look at Christian Harloff's face. You have never seen that look on his face in any other match in Schmoedown history. He was in shock. He was in disbelief more than any of us.
I have it on good authority. He had food poisoning that day, so I think it's unrelated.
I don't think that's true. I think that should be struck from the record. That is inaccurate information, and I'll be calling my lawyers momentarily to prove you wrong, sir.
So you get 1 minute on the clock. So can you talk? Sorry,
1 minute to bask in my victory.
Interaction a little bit, like fan reactions to it, like how do people react to these matches and the fan groups?
Fan reaction. I mean, fans love Sassy Stacey Howard. She's a fan favorite. She's amazing.
And they love Mark Ellis. They love Mark Ellis.
They love Mark Ellis. They love Dan Merle.
And it was a tough loss for Mark Ellis because he was coming off.
Only one competitor became a legend, gained a cult following. This podcast exists. Period, because Andrew Ghai TKO'd Dan Merle. We wouldn't even be having this debate
because Mark Ellis in conjunction with Christian Harloff. So, okay, fine. Great, we're doing it here on Call to Action, but I don't really think that makes a difference here or there. We could do this in an alley.
Does Stacey Howard have a cult following for her defeat of Mark Ellis like Andrew Ghai does?
You know, it might not be like someone's preferred type of cult following, but yeah.
Schmoedown deadheads that go from live event to live event that started in that moment.
That's actually more tied to Ben Bateman and Andrew Ghai as a team, as a whole. Not
who is Ben Bateman?
I
have never even heard of Ben Bateman.
Well, other than I don't know what you're doing here.
5, 4.
Frank sucks.
You guys want to take a good deep breath?
We're only in round 1. Look at this.
I feel like I'm watching 2 Olympic athletes on the verge of collapsing, and it's only the first round.
Well, what about Brandon?
A sprint, you guys.
Yeah, what about Brandon? Say something nice about Brandon. I mean, me and Kevin, yes, we're obviously very gifted athletes.
Of course, thank you very much. Team in training right here. Whoop, wrong one over there.
Did you steal that shirt from Dynamite David Moore after you knocked him out? That's not cool, man.
Okay, well, before we kind of go into our closing statements, where, I'm going to go ahead and ask some people, I'm going to just check out in the audience specifically if they have any specifically questions or anything I want you to address, because sometimes they catch things that we don't as hosts. Before we kind of go over there, Kevin, is there anything that you would love to see Brandon and Frank address in their closing statement?
Yeah, I honestly think right now, Frank, you're facing an even bigger uphill battle. If anything, it's just for the spectacle, and spectacle versus disappointment. And it's kind of like when Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker, and there was that one famous fan that's like this, and he was like, what? No one expected it to happen. And, you had that moment captured forever with Christian's face when he was like this. Like for a long time, and Ellis is just trying to hold it together. So the disappointment for spectacle and Harloff, I think, is just almost the death knell for you there, Frank. Hanna still hasn't picked up on the one thing that I think Frank said, so I won't say that still. But Frank has going for him. It is a tournament match, but again, when you're talking about the ending of the fight, there's certain ways that it ended, and ending on the very last moment. Frank has a good argument for that, but then Hannah's like, when you're not expecting it to end the way it did, there's an ending that way too. So it's up in the air, but come on, Frank, you got to do better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, obviously these are both fantastic matches. I mean, I do kind of want you guys to address a little bit specifically, not only what you guys really argued really well about over specifically what made each other's matches not as iconic of an upset. I do want to kind of go into specifically when you talk about your own matches you've chosen, specifically talk about what made your matches so rewatchable, so fantastic. Specifically, I mean, to you as a viewer, I mean, to how it felt, like, how did it impact the competitors as well? How did it impact Ghai? How did it impact Merle, Howard and Ellis? And I think it was kind of a big deal that he lost. So I would love for you guys to go into your closing statement, specifically how those matches resulted in the future. Now, I am getting a lot of comments about food in the chat here.
I see that. A lot of Torchies talk here. Why don't you guys pay attention? There's a big fight going on right now.
Torchies, some hot sauce, some talk about poutine. So I'm just going to ignore all that. We're just going to go ahead and hop over to
poutine is good. Poutine is good, though.
That's
Frank Gilmore doesn't like your shirt, though, Frank. He's not a fan of your shirt.
Poutine versus loaded fries. So,
okay.
That's the real big question that's been argued. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump over to closing statements. Please, if you can, please address my questions, our questions specifically, and starting with you, Brandon.
And do I have 60 seconds?
Yes, 60 seconds on the clock.
Okay. Well, Kevin, I Venmo you $20, so if you could just text me the thing that I missed about Frank, I would really appreciate it. You've got about 45 seconds to get that to me. So while I wait for that, I just want to say this, like I said, the spectacle of this match is unmatched, okay? This match didn't even just change the way that people look at the Schmoedown. It didn't just change the landscape of the Schmoedown, but it changed the way people looked at movies. You mean to tell me that you've never stumbled across Child 44 and immediately thought of that match? No, it's like even the questions that were asked in the match have become
30 seconds
as grand and as magnificent as that upset was. And I mean, I just don't really have anything more to add because I already feel like I've won. So I just want to say, Frank, just give me this point and we'll see how the rest of the debates plan out. And it's cerulean, bitch.
10 seconds.
Wow.
Ooh, cerulean. How do you spell cerulean?
Don't ask me that.
C-E-R-U-L-E-A-N.
Of course, you know the answer to that. Of course. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Hannah, for that closing statement. So we're hopping over to you, Frank. Closing statement. Your closing statement starting right now.
Here's what happened after the Ellis Howard match. Mark Ellis never played again. That was it. He was done. Stacey Howard would then be known as someone to watch out for when, let's say, she played Mark Riley in last year's tournament. What happened? Upset again. She's been known to do that now. That's her thing. People still don't take her serious, but she is a legit threat. Mark Riley found out. Mark Ellis found out. The other thing that happened here is
30 seconds.
Have a low seed in a tournament, you have to watch out. Because players like Mark Ellis and Mark Riley, they are suspect to losing now. The game is vastly different today, for sure. But Mark Ellis, everyone loves baby carrots.
10 seconds.
He just couldn't stand to play again because of a terrible, brutal overtime loss in a tournament match. You never saw him play again.
And done.
I just want to add that Frank sleeps with a nightlight.
I do.
I have on good authority right now. Yes.
I have so many thoughts right now, Kevin. What do you think?
I mean, I didn't think it was going to be close. Frank had a good left hook right near the end when he's saying how Ellis never played again. Like you voters got to kind of think about that because that is a lot of there's consequences there. The one thing that I think for me it hurt Frank in his very opening statements is how he keeps talking about how Stacey's an underrated player. She's so underrated. Well, if she's underrated, then it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise that she won. No one had Ghai having a shot at Merle in that match. So Frank, I was voting, Frank, you're terrible. That was horrible. You killed yourself in the opening statement. You couldn't get me back. Congratulations, Brandon, Hanna. And I didn't text you that, but you need to catch that for your next time.
Can I have my $20 back?
No, a non-refundable.
I'm not gonna lie. I remember when I watched that match. The day of in my fantasy league, we're allowed to draft until 3:00 in the afternoon my time.
Oh, that's awesome.
And because the matches at the time didn't go up until like 4 or 5 or something, and no one drafted Ghai, and it occurred to me at like 2:30 or 2:45, and I was like, I'll draft Ghai. I thought he was already drafted by then, and suddenly I got a lot of points because it just wasn't him. He ended up beating Riley. He went up to Roca, and everything, obviously. So that was a huge what it really did for him, obviously. But you're not kidding. When it comes to Howard versus Ellis, you're completely right, Kevin, when you said it just came down to Ellis never played again. He was done. He retired. He was a he was in scrubs and stuff, and he like did the whole like heart pump thing with a big carrot person. But yeah, that was obviously that was one of the versus like, you know, the Champion Killer, or I can't remember what it was called, you know, that whole run as well, and the anticipation and you know, the fandom and cultish love around him there, but also it really like finalized the nail in the coffin for Ellis as a competitor.
Yeah, and it's something like, you need to think about.
Yeah, and as far as like the league's getting much more intense and just more harder overall, kind of rewarding his goals in Schmoedown. All right, fantastic. Now, again, guys, if you are new to this, you can feel free to vote on our Facebook page. One of our lovely people, Kelsey Kirkland, what's up, boo? She is actually posting all the voting things that you can vote on our Facebook page. You can vote right now while you actually have your opinion still pretty fresh in your head with all of the reasonings, or you can vote at the very end. Either way, you gotta make your opinions known. Otherwise, it's not gonna fucking count, and we're not gonna fucking care. So
is Frank drinking Coca-Cola right now? I would like the record to show that caffeine is a performance-enhancing drug, and any points given to him should have an asterisk next to him.
And that note, let me just...
You're not competing. Fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Red Bull, though. It's a Bing.
I'm glad it's not a red line. Those are things. Those things will put you... I saw you drink. I saw you rock that red line the other episode. I was like girl.
Okay.
Yeah, it was insane.
You gotta do what you gotta do for these late nights.
I'm impressed.
My heart was racing for a while. Somehow I slept pretty soundly, but regardless. All right.
Is Frank the Houston Astros of Schmoebates? Asks Will McLean.
He is. I think I heard a trash can bang in Kevin's bathroom.
Here's the trash can bang.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and post the Facebook link as we speak up and hither. And we are going to go ahead and jump over to the second question. And this is a pretty... an interesting question considering some of the picks, so to speak.
Oh, yes, I think so.
All right, you ready for the second question, Kevin?
I am ready. Let's do this. Everybody, stop talking about Torchy's tacos. Let's get on to the next one. Which veteran competitor will be the first to lose to a rookie?
And we're going to start with Frank for his opening statement this time around. Go ahead for 1 minute.
All right, Frank.
The veteran competitor that will lose first to a rookie this year will be Lon Harris, because he's never fully lived up to his potential. We all know he has the knowledge, but he never plays like he has the knowledge. He plays down to his competition. He's 4-4. Lon Harris is 4-4. And all 4 wins, he's won by 1 point. 1 point against everyone he's won against. And when he loses, he usually loses by 2 or 3 points. So he plays down to his competition. And as new rookies come in this year, they know the game better than ever before. They know the strategy better than ever before. These rookies aren't, coming in like they were in 2016 and 2017, where they were just coming in on their knowledge. Lon Harris, to this point, has failed to step up his game on strategy. So when he walks into a rookie match with a rookie, they have the strategy. They've done the homework that Lon Harris probably hasn't done and has never done. And so he's going to face a much more stronger competitor.
Done. Lon Harris, interesting pick. I keep forgetting about Lon Harris, so I'm really interested to hear about him going into the season for sure. Okay, so what do you think about Lon Harris, Kevin? Have any thoughts?
Lon's around that area where he would probably face a rookie early on. Someone banned Garth from the chat. He said it's going to be me to Robert Parker. How dare you, Garth? Get out of this. Get out of town. Lon Harris, for sure. When you look at the rankings, there's that sweet spot where it's a good star turn for someone. It's a rookie's going to get right there. I think one of these rookies, it's either going to be like Barbarian or Ben, who's going to come in and they're going to be around that area where they can hopscotch over them. Another one that in my head, when I first saw that question, would be Makuga. Makuga did the same thing for Oyama, kind of, doing the job. But I think Lon Harris is in that sweet spot too. So I think that's actually a really smart and sound choice by Frank.
I absolutely agree, but I want to say my personal pick would have been Ken Napzok too.
Ooh, interesting.
But that's just me. But
in the Star Wars division or just regular?
I thought he's playing in several divisions.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just a blanket statement.
I mean, at least like on a promo video they did a while ago. But regardless, let's find out what Hanna thinks.
All right, Hanna.
Will be the first to lose for a rookie. You got 60 seconds starting right now.
Obviously, if you know anything about the Schmoedown, if you have any brains at all, you will know that the first veteran technicality competitor that will lose to a rookie this season is obviously Chandru Dandapani, okay? we all know that me and Chandru the Chosen, okay? Chosen to get his butt whooped by every rookie in the league this season. We have a rematch coming up. And after I knock him back down whatever hole he crawled out of, he's going to crawl back up like Kylo Ren at the end of Rise of Skywalker. Oh, I'm so weak. Oh, and then Christian's just going to give him a pity match against some rookie. I don't care which one. And he's going to be so defeated. That rookie's just going to come along and boom, end Chandru's career right there, done and done. And then I'll never have to see him again. Thank God for that. Whew. Oh, that took out. I had to get that off my chest, guys.
How do you really feel there, Brandon? What are your real true thoughts on the Chosen? Oh yeah, you could feel it. Like the room was starting to shake. Like the earth was unheaving from his anger.
Okay.
Don't break character.
You need a drink.
Don't break character.
Brandon, you need a drink, pal.
I
have my drink.
I want some wine after that opening.
Non-performance enhancing drug. Water.
Healthy, very healthy. I approve. Okay, so all right, fantastic. So these are two very solid picks, but also two very different approaches to this for sure. You got Lon Harris, which is obviously competes in teams and singles, and versus Chandru, which as far as I know, he exclusively plays in IG. So two very different approaches as well. But also, like you mentioned, there's two. Lon, it has when he wins by a very small margin, like you said, but he is at this point kind of even for sure, technically speaking. But Chandru, he did have a big loss to you, Kevin, obviously. However, he's definitely one of the, just like both you guys, definitely one of the biggest IG competitors we have out there today. So if he loses, it would be a big fucking loss.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's in the mix for sure. He's given us a much smaller pool of rookies are coming in, but the list here where he is currently is a much higher. You're really banking on him losing to the Hitman and then having to face Hurricane Parker whenever that may happen. That would be a way that he would lose to a veteran, and I think that is certainly it. I want to hear more about technical stuff like that, Brandon, instead of the vitriol and hatred that you have for him. Do not channel your hate. Now use statistics and facts.
I'm not going to lie. I really loved the painting of the picture. That's for sure. Well, let's just go ahead and jump to the open debate itself. You guys have 4 minutes to debate Chandru versus Lon Harris for the first to lose to a rookie, starting now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Chandru only plays in one division, so the odds of him losing are less than Lon's because he plays in 2. So there's more possibility for him to play another rookie in teams and or singles, where Chandru just have to worry about Innergeekdom. So and there's not as many rookies that are shuffling into Innergeekdom, so that decreases the odds of him losing to a rookie. Lon, like I said, he plays down to his competition. It's seemingly for whatever reason he does. Look at the match with Cody Hall. He had to beat him in overtime, even though Cody wasn't technically a rookie, but still a less than player, if you will. And usually when rookies come into the league, they're still getting acclimated. So when Lon has to play one of these rookies, I'm afraid he's going to play down to their level and leave a bit of an opening. And a smarter, these are smarter rookies, as we saw last year. They're more knowledge based, they're more strategy based than ever before. And when Lon comes up against one of those types of rookies, especially in singles, I feel like he's the most susceptible to a loss from a rookie. It's hard to forecast when these guys are going to play. If we had a schedule, it'd be a different thing. But because we don't really know when it's going to happen, I approached it from the angle that Lon Harris is the most susceptible to a rookie loss, just based on how he's played in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Frank. We can't really know for sure when these matches are going to take place. There's no way of knowing. But, I mean, let's look at the facts, though, okay? We know, because I know Kevin loves facts. And here's a fact for you. I am going to play Chandru very soon, and I'm going to win. And when I do, who is he going to play? Is he going to play a veteran like Smets or Kalinowski or Mara or God knows who else, Adam Lavick? No, he's going to be right on the middle of the tracks. He's going to be on the tracks, tied to them because I brought rope. And there's going to be a freight train coming, and that freight train is Robert Parker, okay? I pretend I don't know who Bobby Parker is. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I'm aware that he answers questions correctly in the fan leagues from time to time. And he's going to answer more correctly than Chandru, and so am I. And I'm going to climb all the way to the top, and Chandru's going to sink all the way to the bottom. And when is Lon really going to play a rookie? Probably not anytime soon. And it's Cerulean, Mitch.
Okay, good, great. No, but Lon will, because he's at 4-4. So he eventually will face possibly a Ben Goddard if he continues to progress in the league. Ben Goddard, as we've seen, is one of these new rookies who really knows the league, knows the game, and dare I say he knows it probably better than Lon. I don't know how much effort Lon gives the Schmoedown other than what's required to show match day. Bank on his movie knowledge and then maybe lean on his manager to help him out. I don't know if that's going to get it done. Because when you face someone like Ben Goddard, who he could potentially face for sure, I think he's in real trouble.
When could he potentially face Ben Goddard? How many matches does Ben Goddard have?
I think 2 more. One more win, and then he can face. At
2-0, you think he would then go on to play Lon Harris?
Because Lon Harris is 4-4.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we imagine Lon's got to get a match at some point in the near future. Do you think he's going to get his next match around the same time that Ben Goddard's also going to get his next match? I mean, we have 9 factions this year, full of up to around 9 players each, and then everyone's got to get a match starting off.
Well, look,
when do you think Ben's going to get this second match? When's Lon going to get that? If Ben
plays a match with Rachel Silvestrini in teams, technically, if Lon were to lose that team match, he still is losing to a rookie, even though one half of the team is a rookie. So technically, he would still be losing to a rookie, even if he faced him in singles and/or teams.
And done. You want to do some yoga poses?
Yeah, everybody just breathe. Everybody breathe here.
Get in here. Is that a yoga pose?
Yoga, right? Yoga.
Well, you're in California now. You need to be more chill, right?
Yeah, you got to be eating guacamole and doing downward dog poses and all that.
I like how guacamole means California. Like if you look on any menu, like, if you want a California burrito or
I love those.
That just means avocado.
Yeah,
that's all it means.
Oh man, I love me.
Now
you're making me hungry, Alex. What's the matter with you?
I could eat avocado with a spoon. It's wonderful. Okay, now we have again 2 very different approaches to these answers. One is a very personal attack, and giving us a lot of these really great moments to paint the picture. Really great visuals overall. But like you mentioned, you said that he could, Chandru could potentially go up against Robert Parker, and like you said, you think Robert Parker could potentially be a better competitor than Chandru. So that would be a loss, obviously, to a rookie. So that's something to be considered. But like you said, based on the record Lon Harris has, technically a 4-4, how likely is he to get up against a rookie in singles or in teams? So I'm not sure. Kevin, what do you think?
I think that the records certainly favor Lon losing and also being in a position where he'd face a rookie earlier at 500. Chandru I faced him myself. He's great. And if anybody's going to give, let's say, a rookie in the division of IG, I mean, I heard, there's other rookies coming through there. I think that Chandru would be less likely to lose. It took me to the very limit to answer my 5 to beat him. So, I mean, as far Lon is right there in that sweet spot, and he's played as many times as he's lost. You know what I mean? So, I think it's a smaller field for IG, and I think that hurts your argument, Brandon. And I think that going into this final segment here, your closing arguments, I want to hear more about maybe you playing out. I mean, you're playing out a scenario, but let's play out, a worst case scenario, which would be if in your match against Chandru you lose. How would then Chandru lose his first veteran or his first rookie?
Yeah.
Like to see both angles.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's the same, like you said, with, how would he actually lose to the rookie? And same for you. How would Lon specifically lose to his first, to the rookie?
Exactly.
Like, how intense would it have to be? Who would have, what competitors could it potentially be, etc. Which league? All that, good stuff. Please answer those questions best to your ability. And we're starting with you, Frank, with 1 minute for your closing statement.
So there are a number of rookies coming into this league that have been touted, even by Christian. You look at the Barbarian, Defense Stock Exchange. He's backed by Ben Bateman, Dan Morrow, all those guys to impart their wisdom and knowledge onto the game, which Lon clearly is just not at that level. I don't care. I don't. Even as smart as he is with movie trivia, he just cannot rise above his competitors. He always plays at their level. And if you meet someone like the Barbarian, Ben Goddard, if he faces someone perhaps like Marisol McKee, who's looking to play, these are potential players that he could definitely face, given the fact that he has a 500 record, hasn't proven that he can win the big-time match. He narrowly lost to Cody Hall, and it took him to overtime. That just blows my mind. So there's just no way that even with Chandru and Innergeekdom, who's going to face? It's going to take a while, because those rookies are going to play each other because it's in one division, and they got to play another one, and then there's Chandru waiting, especially after he beats Brandon Hanna. Who's he going to face?
And done.
All right, Hanna, you got to come through on that. We're asking for the worst case scenario. You got to play director in your head and create this storyline for us to make us believe that it could be Chandru.
I want it all. I want all the visuals. I want the story. Bring it. You got 60 seconds.
I don't know what this worst case scenario is you keep bringing up. I don't believe in the no-win scenario. I'm going to Kobayashi Maru that bitch. Are you kidding me? And if any competitor could possibly lose to a rookie, it's Chandru Dandapani. He's only beaten one competitor of significant note at that elite level, and that's me. And I spun opponent's choice and had a really bad day. And then he took you, Kevin, to the limit. Are you kidding me? You spun opponent's choice. He spun spinner's choice. And his 5-pointer was the easiest 5-pointer in the history of 5-pointers. Are you kidding me? Who composed 2 out of the 8 Harry Potter movies? You Google those movies, and his Nicholas Hooper's name pops up right away on Google. You were asked some minute detail about Star Trek, and God bless you how you knew the answer to that one. I don't know, but you earned that victory over a guy who gets lucky time and time again. He is the luckiest competitor in the history of the Schmoedown.
He gets lucky so much. How is he going to lose?
His luck's going to run out, and it's going to start with me, and then he's going to get hit by that freight train.
My favorite is that Chandru's in the chat right now, hearing this whole rant, and he's just you're putting bulletin board material on your match against you guys, man. You're just making him angry.
You know what? Bring it. I want all of it. I want all the anger fester.
Let the hate flow through you. Yes.
As the Hulk always said, I'm always really desperate for more anger.
As the Hulk once said, you won't like me when I'm hungry.
That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? That's how it works. That's how he turns into the big
he's always angry.
Right? He's a big red dude.
This homeboy's always angry here. There he is. There you are. Yeah. Poke.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yeah, you did bring up several really great points. Now, I think Chandru is amazing. Obviously, he's one of my favorite competitors. You're totally right. Like you mentioned, spinner's choice and opponent's choice were definitely part of it. And like you mentioned, I believe isn't Harry Potter movies like one of his stronger categories? He says.
Yeah, that's his biggest strength. That's why he picked it when he spun. He waved and used black magic, which I might add is another performance-enhancing drug, and I'm having my lawyers looking into that immediately. And I'm in the den now, so I can afford lawyers.
There you go.
Well, and that makes total sense. So you definitely mark some boxes off right there. Okay. Well, Kevin, I mean, I know we're not voting personally.
Yeah. You want to get over to that Facebook page, the Call to Action Podcast Facebook page. I'm going to go in. I could see the early numbers right now. I don't want to spoil it and lead anyone to vote one way or the other, but it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I just think at this point, as someone who's faced Chandru, whether my 5 was hard and his was easy, or whether they were both the same amount, he took me to the limit. If anybody, I just think he's going to be in a position, even if he loses to Brandon, to where it might be a while before he has to face a rookie. And I think Lon is very likely to face a rookie, maybe in his very next match. So he's sitting there at 4-4, 500. It's a perfect opportunity for an up-and-coming rookie, be it Barbarian or Ben. I mean, there's so many, opportunities. I'm going with the numbers here. It's more likely it's going to happen with Lon. So if here I'm going to the Facebook page right now, and I am voting for Frank to win that question. Sorry, all your anger there. But tell me what you think about Payne, Brandon. What do you feel about Payne?
I need my pain. Don't take my pain away from me. I need my pain.
There you go, Kirk. I needed to hear that.
I mean, I'm just loving the vibe in this virtual room we got going on right now. I really do. Okay, well, we're going to be going into arguably one of the most important questions of your entire lives. Really.
Yes, this is it.
It's the big one. It's the deciding factor in this. Yeah. Okay, so for this one, I have a little coin. Right here, I'm a patron of the Action Army, Action Industry, all that stuff. What's up? Hey. And I got this little beautiful coin designed by Janine herself. What's up, girl? This gorgeous.
Shout out to Miss Movie. Yeah.
Yes, so talented. Janine. We have both Team Bateman, and we got Team Ghai right here. Now, Hannah, which one would you like to be flipped in favor of?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I betrayed Bateman because he's a joke. And then Ghai was like really mean to me last year, and I don't really talk to him anymore.
2 guys you used to look up to that just don't like you. That's gotta suck.
Oh, Frank, if you were in this side of town, I'd take your Coke and I'd drink all of it.
Ooh, vicious.
Wow.
Vicious.
Threats.
Wow. I'm hurt.
I'm gonna go with Bateman because I kind of see myself as a more handsome version of him, so I like my odds just a little better.
I'm gonna throw up real quick. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. Continue.
I like that visual there. You got a little. Do you guys a little something on your chin there? Right there?
Yeah, it's the manliness.
Right. It's there, right? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna say also, Frank, by extension, you get Ghai. It's okay for sure.
Awesome.
Ben shaved his off once he saw how good mine was coming in. He just knew he couldn't compete.
Like Thor and what's his face?
That'd be Steve Rogers, Captain America. He's friends with that tree.
I've heard of that.
Hawkeye?
That guy. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The Hawkeye?
Yeah, the Hawkeye. Right?
Guy, the Hawkeye?
That's it.
What? Hot?
Steve Rogers is Hawkeye, right?
Everybody just calm down here. Come on now.
All right. Okay, so if it lands face up on your person, that means you have to be the one starting this. Okay, and I'll be flipping.
Right. What do we got?
We got Bateman.
So that means he loses, right?
That means he starts with his opening statement.
Okay, see, that wasn't clarified.
I'm going to start this with a classic Ben Bateman finger gun.
All right. Okay, so
Frank, are you challenging or what? Are we going to challenge, or is this
very Ben Bateman
New York, Brooklyn all over again?
Yeah.
I was like, Brennan, the hot man, Hannah, you have to supply your answer first before Frank with your opening statement to the most important question of your life. Kevin, please read it away.
Put together a Schmoedown band. I'm talking genre, band name, instruments, etc., etc. Blow us away. This is for all the marbles. Everything's at stake here now. All of it comes to this moment right now. Let's hear it.
Under pressure, starting right now. 1 minute to go.
Go!
Clearly, the greatest Schmoedown band would obviously star Well, let's just say the name because the star is in the name. It's Marzonia and the Sen Den. The S-E-N Den. Okay? Lead singer, lead guitarist, Alex Marzonia. He never forgets the Enye and he never misses a beat and he's always perfectly in tune. Okay? And the genre, of course, is punk rock because that's how we roll in the den. Hardcore. You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. Right, PJ Campbell and Cinna Maxwell? You know what I'm talking about. And, of course, we have Kate Mulligan on the drums. Ben Goddard playing keyboard and the bass guitar. You know him as the sniper. It's Brett Sheridan. Okay, these guys are going to rock your socks off. Could you imagine Kate as a drummer? Best thing ever. This band would be second to none, okay? This would be all the entrance musics for all the Schmoedown to the end of days we played by this band because there would be nothing greater to walk out with.
Right. You guys got 10 seconds. Sorry, I didn't give you a warning there. 10 seconds, sorry.
10 seconds. Oh, my God. I thought I already won. Yeah, Marzonia and the Senden.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I want to go to this concert so bad. Oh, right. Okay. I can't wait to listen to the debate. All right. What did you pick? Who did you pick? Going over to you, Frank. 60 seconds.
The name of my band is Dog Daddies and the Sitter. Now, what is that, you might ask? Well, it's a rock band starring Andrew Ghai on lead guitar. It has Mark Riley playing the bass. It has Mark Ellis on vocals. And why those three? That's because they all own dogs. They're daddies to a dog. They're dog daddies. But you know what? The other part of that title was the Sitter. That's right, Rachel Silvestrini. She will dog sit any dog there is to be sat in this town. And she is playing the drums because she looks like a drummer to me, and it looks like she can really just hammer on the drums. Dog Daddies and the Sitter, rock band. On tour.
Okay.
This spring. Book it. Book it.
Someone make me a shirt, please, for the love of God.
I mean, both titles, both band names are great.
They are fantastic. They are great titles.
When what's your name, Hitman? When you submitted your list, though, you got to lose points for spelling bass, B-A-S-E. So Sheridan's
he's
bass. I can prove it right. I can literally prove it.
In the Schmoedown.
I can literally prove it right now. Bass.
Nope.
At least you didn't call it bass.
Geppetto. I call it Geppetto.
You know, it's just kind of like what was that scene from I Love You, Man? Slap in the bass.
Yep.
Slap in the bass.
I mean, we got Brandon with the very home. He has the Den Homer pick, and you got to do it. Look, if I was picking a band, we would do a death metal band called The Dungeon, and we'd have Drew on drums, Zipper on bass, me lead guitarist, and Kaiser just screaming all hell into the microphone. So I get to be in the Homer. So I'm not going to take points away from that.
I'm surprised you're not picking Kaiser to actually be the band manager. I could just picture him in the background
he's being the player manager.
Where's the green M&Ms? There's no green M&Ms.
He's just said our contracts are horrible and we didn't make a dime once we go platinum. It's all towards Kaiser's addiction to gambling. Frank's pick, is cute and creative, but he's not getting these. The one thing that I'll have to give Brandon so far. Well, I don't want to say anything yet. You know what? Let's continue.
Absolutely. There's so much I cannot wait to see. But yeah, you guys like you said, Frank, you had picked a really great title, Dog Daddies and the Sitter. I mean, that creates such a really great visual right there. Yeah. I can't believe I didn't connect the dots until you said it. And I'm like, mind blown. But also the Zen Den, I mean, they're pretty much already a band, let's be honest, as it is. All right. Well, you guys got 4 minutes to make your arguments for that Schmoedown band.
Here's what you're going to see on the stage with Dog Daddies and the Sitter. You're going to have the greatest rock show you've ever seen. Why? Because you're going to have dogs on stage. Don't worry. They'll have their earmuffs on, and it'll be the cutest freaking thing you've ever seen. Can you imagine Mark Riley playing bass with his dog Leia right next to him, just jamming out? Can you imagine? Can you see? I mean, look. I mean, for real. Mark Ellis on the lead vocals, holding Molly in his arms, just walking up and down that stage. It's gonna be you're gonna die when you see this band. I mean, you're gonna fall head over heels for this band. It's gonna be insane. And don't even get me started on the songs that they're playing. Oh, I got song titles for you, like Hotel California, huh? There you go. Master of Puppets. There you go. That's gonna be another rock song they're gonna play. How about Bark This Way? That's right. I said it. And Don't Stop Retrieving. Don't Stop Retrieving. There you go. And lastly, Dogs on Parade. I mean, come on.
I could hear Rachel Silvestrini laughing in the background. It must be super loud for you, Brandon. Jesus.
Do you really want to go to a rock show where you can look at dogs but not pet them? That sounds like the worst show I have ever been to in the history of shows.
It's a backstage pass, Brandon. You get a backstage pass for that.
Alex Marzonia has the voice of an angel. It's like a combination of Fergie and Jesus. It's unlike anything I've ever heard in my life. We have very thin walls here at the apartment. I can hear all of his beautiful melodies, and it rocks me to sleep every night. It's amazing.
I want to go see a band.
Check his songs out right now on iTunes.
To see a band, not a solo
He's a proven commodity. My lead singer and guitarist is a proven commodity. He has a music video, and he's
a solo artist. He's great, but he's not a band.
He's been in a band, and the band was amazing. Surface Streets, check it out. Okay, listen. I don't think you're really underestimating Kate Mulligan on the drums. Could you imagine?
You have Kate Mulligan and Brett Sheridan. They're not going to be playing music. They're going to be telling jokes the whole time.
Could you imagine you're sitting down for a rock show, and all of a sudden you see Kate Mulligan. She's got the drumsticks, right? She's like, "Hey, everybody, excuse me, this is Kate Mulligan.
The only person that's going to be playing music is going to be Alex Marzonia.
Boom! Come on.
Brett Sheridan and Kate Mulligan are going to be doing their little comedic act. Ben Goddard's going to say, "Hey, guys, what do you want to talk about next? Let's go to the next comedy act."
What's wrong with a little comedy in your music? Weird Al Yankovic, Bo Burnham, all great musical comedians.
That totally clashes with Alex Marzonia. When has Alex Marzonia made a comedy music album?
Alex Marzonia
Never.
can do
anything.
He makes
ballads. He's a solo act, and he's great. But this ain't a band. This is a smorgasbord of 10 leftovers.
Listen, I'm glad that you are enjoying your custom made-up doggy pun songs. We're going to play all of your classic favorite punk rock hits from the 90s and mid to early 2000s. Everyone's going to go there. It's going to be a nostalgia fiesta. You're not going to want to miss it. I mean, come on. Brett Sheridan. Have you met Brett Sheridan? You don't, but you want to. And you will pay tickets to go see him.
I feel so bad for Alex. I would feel so bad for Alex on that band. He's around a bunch of jokesters. Alex Marzonia is a legit musician. He's a serious musician. He has a craft he's trying to hone, and then he's got these jokesters sidetracking him on stage. That's just rude. Why would you do that to him, Brandon? Why?
He's not. They're all gonna raise each other up. He's gonna. They're gonna raise to his level of competition. The opposite of Lon Harris.
But you're gonna see Mark Ellis singing every Van Halen song known to man. You're gonna have Andrew Ghai walking down that stage, lighting up the fans. Everyone loves Andrew Ghai. He's a showman. He's a showman.
Your biggest mistake was not making Andrew Ghai lead singer, and you can't take that back.
He can sing. He can sing though. He can sing. He can harmonize. I've heard him harmonize. He'll harmonize with Mark Ellis. Oh yeah, he will.
Nope, not allowed.
It absolutely is.
And Alex Marzonia is the best of the best of the best of the best of the best.
It's a solo act.
And he never forgets the Enye.
Everybody calm down. My neighbors are probably banging on the walls in a second here.
This is intense.
This is intensity in 10 cities. Huh? Schmoedown, what? Wayne's World?
Huh? Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you guys covered quite a bit. Oh my gosh. Kevin, I mean, like, which of these concerts would you be okay with paying like $100 ticket for?
Man, I mean, I don't want to give too much up until after I hear it, because again, Frank, man, you give a bombshell to him, and hopefully Hanna picks up on it. So I want to wait until the end until I say what I want to say. But yeah, I mean,
are we still going?
You're still going. You got closing.
We have closing
arguments,
guys. I remember you guys are going to do your closing statements here.
You got to do closing statements. So I don't want to say anything yet as to not sway anyone. But, right now, though, early points for song titles. Brandon, I wish you did a little more, prep work here. You can't even like be bothered to come up with song titles that are creative to the den with, lion kind of names and nicknames. I'm really disappointed in you. I love the titles that you had there, Frank. I think you got to work with something there. It's just you don't have to be on the band to sing the damn song. Who's going to be able to carry a tune over there? That's the worry that I hear for you.
I am a little. I do have to say though, Marzonia and the Senden, I would be okay dropping some dope money because not only that, because I know for a fact I'm gonna like the vocals of Alex specifically, not because we share a name, but I'd be okay with spending money on a band with a lead singer that I know for a fact I will enjoy for sure. So that's something you definitely mentioned. Like you mentioned, comedy and music don't always go together, but sure, there are exceptions to the rule, such as Weird Al and Bo Burnham, who I adore. But like you mentioned, what's better? What's better than having dogs at a concert? That sounds really
Well, they're going to bark through the whole thing. What are you talking about? That'll be annoying.
Oh,
all over the place.
No, they're not. They're not. They're well-trained dogs. Look at their owners. They're well-trained. Why would you diss the owners like that? Come on.
Okay, we're gonna go into that in our closing statement, guys. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Yes. Closing statement starting with you, Brandon, for your closing statements. Starting right. Bark for now, I guess.
Listen, Frank, you bet that Snickers was the lead vocalist and Leia was on the drums and Molly was just shredding the guitar. But that's not the case. They're just gonna sit there far away. I'm gonna be in the cheap seats because I don't really think Ellis can sing all that well, so I'm not going to pay top dollar to go. I was going to be sitting there going, wow, those dogs, they're so far away. Man, I wish I could pet them, but I can't. Meanwhile, Alex Marzonia, come on. He is the golden ticket to this band. He is the deciding factor. He is a proven commodity. You should just listen to his music right now. Marzonia, Spotify, okay? iTunes, all those places. You go there, YouTube. He's on the YouTubes, okay? Listen to his music. He's damn good. And Brett and Kate are awesome. And Ben's there too playing the keys. So.
10 seconds.
Ben is really good at the keyboards. He's so great. One time he played me a song and I wanted to fall in love with him. But, that wouldn't be very professional being us both being in the Schmoedown and all.
And done. Not professional. Sure. Okay. That's definitely something to argue. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we're going to be moving on.
We're breaking stories here tonight here.
We're going to get deep and personal on tonight's episode of Schmoebates. Schmoebates Late Night.
Wow. Schmoebates After Dark.
We need a theme song for that.
Exactly.
I'm sure
one of these bands play the song for it.
He wants to make some theme songs for both these groups. He's just like, I already got it, guys. I'm ready to go. Just give me.
Silvestrini in the chat said she'd be your lead singer with some tequila. So you got that. You got that going for
you. Do you really need the tequila for that? I don't think so. Well, tequila preference, really. There you go. All right. And Lucas says I yipped at you. Did I yip at you, Kevin?
I didn't feel a yip. Are you yipping? Are we in a fight? Are we in our first fight? We're in our first fight. Damn.
I yip. Maybe I did.
He would be the professional knowing if maybe he saw a yip that was like, that only he sees that face. And I just didn't pick up on it. So.
Yeah, it is. My entire face is a yip face. So what do you do? Yes.
That's a bumper sticker if I've ever heard one.
Like this. All right. Okay. So going over to our closing statements, starting with you, Hanna. Got 60 seconds to make your final argument in favor of the Marzonia and the Senden. Go.
Wait, what? Didn't I already do that?
Yeah, no, we got to go with you.
I apologize. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. Okay.
It's my turn. Yeah.
Listen, it's cerulean, bitch.
Crickets. Okay, come on. Let's go, Frank.
All right. So, Brandon, the question asked you to put together a band. You didn't do that. You put together a comedy troupe that just happens to have a guy who can play music. Okay, so I'm sorry. You already lost. My band, they're a cohesive unit. They're a family that has dogs. And what completes a family more than dogs? Beautiful animals that are dogs. Dogs. With little cute, earmuffs, and they'll probably have little cute booties on, and they're running around having fun. Meanwhile, Papa Ellis is belting out the tunes. Mark Riley is so dependent. you can rely on him. That's why he plays the bass, because everything, it comes from Riley laying down that bass line. And then there's Andrew Ghai. Let him be free with Snickers running around on the stage, looking at that dog jump in the air, doing sweet kicks. Yeah, and then Andrew Ghai's on the whammy bar. It's going to be one of the best musical acts you will ever see. Rachel Silvestrini on the drums. I mean, she is a born drummer. She just doesn't know it yet. And in this band, she's going to shine. And look, all drummers, they sing. And Rachel, we'll get you all the tequila you want.
And done.
Wow, let me just say something here. During your speech, you started gaining votes. It is neck and neck for this one. I'll let Alex, I know this is her deal right here, but it was updating live. And as you started speaking, Frank, you started, the numbers changed from one way to another. I'm not going to say whether it was better or reverse, but that's interesting seeing it live, jump up and down. That was, there you go. This is a close one.
I think it's a cheap shot because he got an extra vote every time he said the word dog.
I'm also kind of curious. One of the things that you didn't address was that when, I don't know about you, but based on my personal experience with dogs, a lot of dogs, when they get nervous or sometimes in like really loud places, even though they have the head things on, not only do they bark sometimes, but they start shitting everywhere or peeing everywhere.
These are well-trained animals, and Rachel's a dog sitter. She knows how to handle these animals.
Rachel's too busy singing the lead vocal because he's drinking tequila.
No, this is all pre-concert. It's already been handled. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You should see this, Alex. You should check the poll right now.
I am checking as we speak. Okay.
I'll do it. This is insane.
Yeah, I'm checking it as we speak. And just saying, guys, we have not nearly enough votes for our third and final question that we just had. I'm going to just post it again here in Facebook. Yeah. Why aren't you voting? There's only not even 25 votes. And I know there's 58 of you guys watching actively at this time.
And it is literally neck and neck right now. This decides the whole match.
Get on it.
Stop being lurkers and trolls and answer. For God's sake.
All right. Well, specifically, I know I'm going to go ahead and count up some of these votes real quickly.
Yeah.
But kind of before going into it, we're just kind of wrapping up these questions. Frank, how do you feel about actually being able to record and argue on camera and over voice like this? I know you do it a lot with Brad and everything, but in a setting where you're actually being scored and voted on, is it different at all?
No, I honestly, I didn't really look at it that. I was just trying to approach it like I normally do on the rundown when you have these kind of conversations and debate a bit. And so that's, even though this is a more structured format and that's more free flowing. So it's a little different, but I still had fun going back and forth with Brandon. And let me just say, man, it was an uphill battle from the start because it was, it is what it is.
I don't know what you said, Frank, but you were in the lead, and then you started talking, and now it's tied. So maybe you should have stopped talking, and we hear from Hannah. It's going back and forth on this last one.
Oh my gosh!
Everybody, get your votes in.
This is really, really tight right now.
Listen, I think we should
vote for me. Nikes.
Vote for the hot man.
Okay.
He's hot.
Don't vote for him because he just said hot man. Don't vote.
Guys. If you haven't voted, you got to vote in the next 60 seconds or else you're in tough shit. Because I don't care if you watch this a little late. It doesn't matter because we're determining our winner for tonight's episode right flipping now. At this time, we currently.
It is that. And watch as we talk. It's jumping up and down. It is literally. This is
It's going.
Did Brandon, did you go in there and vote for
yourself? And by the way, this decides.
Did Brandon vote for himself? You son of a bitch.
I would never.
And
this decides the whole match.
While we kind of wait for that go through, we're gonna go over our first and second questions. Now, Kevin, I do know that you have your phone available right now.
Yes.
Who was it? Who is the winner of question number 1?
Question number 1. What is the biggest upset in Schmoedown history? With no surprise here, we have Hannah in the lead here. 77% of you decided that Ghai versus Merle was the biggest upset. We got 23% in the rear here with the Ellis and Howard. Yeah, Janisch, she had an uphill battle with that. You had a valiant try. I think you would have had a better shot if you did an Olympic athlete who comes in not knowing anything, beating JT.
Maybe. I still would have lost, dude.
You still would have lost. I mean, that is the greatest.
That's uncomfortable. That's fuzz.
Yeah, but it was a good challenge to have, and I think it leads us to this final decision here with this third one. So yeah, we have Hanna now taking the first question. Alex,
and now moving on. The second question specifically, we had which veteran competitor will be the first to lose to a rookie, and Hanna chose Chandru Dandapani versus Frank chose Lon Harris. And the winner of this argument was, just double checking right now.
Drum roll, please. And very similar as far as the differences, a little difference, but
yes,
it's 68% to the winner, who is
68% with Lon Harris, favor with Frank. So right now it is 1-1.
It is 1-1. So everybody get your votes in for that last one so you can see.
33% were all giving an edible arrangement.
We have 32 votes right now on that final one.
I'm not gonna lie, I do love me an edible arrangement.
There you go.
Hey. All right. Well, oh, God. Okay. Wow. Okay. So for our final question, putting together a Schmoedown band, we wanted the genre, the band name, the instruments, etc. We do have a winner.
And this might tie in to one of the biggest upsets in Schmoedown history. We might have the biggest upset in Schmoebates history. And if I say the sentence before I finish this, we are looking at Brandon. Oh, it just tied. It just tied when I held it.
That was me. That was me. That was me.
It
was me. I did that. It was me.
All right. That was well, way to spoil them, so unfortunately, I kind of want to be in person when I let him know the bad news here. So hold on a second.
I can see the poll right now, dude.
In the biggest upset of Schmoebates history, this man right here, Frankie Numbers, who everybody was avoiding, including myself, just lost to the hitman, Brandon Hanna.
Yeah.
Whammy!
Undefeated, undisputed, hot man of the world. Me.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh. That was intense.
What a shock. I want to hear, Hanna beats Frank. Hanna beats Frank to the tune of Kalinowski beats Smets.
The virtual crowd goes wild.
Wow.
Okay, now before we kind of go into that, go into the specifics, I'm going to go ahead and Brandon, please stay. Frank, I'm going to bring you back on in a hot minute.
Sure.
No pun intended.
Get the hell out of here.
For a little quick interview, 1 minute. All right. Holy crap. You went into this knowing absolutely nothing. Well, assuming you weren't going to win. How are you feeling?
I know everything. I knew I was going to win. Come on. Feel great. Of course. Listen, when Andrew Ghai TKO'd Dan Murrow, okay, we all went to Yard House afterwards. Andrew Ghai went up to every waitress and he said, "Hi, I'm Andrew Ghai. I TKO'd Dan Murrow." And that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to go to my local watering hole. I'm going to say, "Hi, I'm the hot man. I beat Frank." So.
Oh, man.
With that face, too. Look, I'm glad your internet doesn't look like 1997 Prodigy. So at least you're making some headway there. Did you just get new internet right now because you won? Is that how good the win is? It increased your bandwidth?
It is. I had to deal with my local cable provider, and they paid off.
It's like, okay, now we do have some people, I do want to address something. We do have some people in the audience mentioning right now, and technically Janisch is winning. You're not wrong.
Damn it, Rachel.
It's really kind of going back and forth. Dog daddies are winning right now. The vote has turned a recount. However, like I said, if you don't vote within the specific time I give, it doesn't matter.
That's why you gotta vote early. You gotta vote early right away.
During that time. And you know what? It is partly on my fault. I absolutely agree that I can probably do something to kind of let you guys know that
close the polls.
Yeah, this is it. This is done. You only have yay amount of time to do it, and I can definitely do something on my end to finalize that for future reference. Absolutely.
Controversy. That means we might have a rematch in the future. You never know.
A hot man match without controversy.
I see you.
Sure. But see, now they're tied again, so it's like we can do this forever and ever. And I think when we announce the winner, that's the lesson. You gotta vote early, and you gotta get your vote in. They're sitting on their hands, not doing it.
It's definitely going to get pretty intense in the future. I'm excited to kind of go back in like a few days and a few weeks, later tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Just to see kind of go back. But walking away, do you want to debate again? Do you feel like you want to go against Frank again? Do you want to never play again? Like overall, how are you feeling?
I don't know. We'll see.
What? Come on, you're gonna go to the watering hole and introduce yourself as you just beat Frank. You gotta keep that momentum going. Take on someone else, huh?
Who possibly worth my time other than Frankie Numbers?
Listen, pal. I'll be your Huckleberry. If you don't fight, I'll take you on. I'll take you on because you were missing some spots that would have buried Frank early on that I would bury you with. So if you want to, next time you get a chance, Hannah.
You couldn't bury me if you had a shovel.
All right, pal. We'll see, Ghai.
Okay.
Maybe if you practice your saber skills as much as you would, your saber skills would rival that of Master Yoda's.
You messed that one up real bad.
Just like buzz droids. And don't tell Peter, let's be honest.
Hi, buddy. Stop it. Shh, get out here. Okay, sorry. My cat is very vocal whenever I record. It's at that point he just starts demanding attention. And
of course you got to do it.
Cat, get out of here, buddy. Get out of here. Okay, so thank you so much, Brendan, Hotman, Hannah.
Congratulations, man. That's a hell of a win, man. You shocked the world.
Yeah, can't believe I say you won. Fantastic. I know going into this, you're like, no, I'm not gonna win this. But regardless, I'm super excited that you won, and we gotta have you back on again and for this challenge, whenever that may be. So it's gonna be pretty soon, I hope. All right, thank you again.
How many matches in a row do I win before I get a shiny belt like the one Kevin has? I like that one.
So this one right here?
Yeah, that one. I like that one.
We have a Schmoebate belt.
You got to get a Schmoebate belt. You should do it. Mm-hmm. I think I like the idea. Christian talked about it. I think it's great. I think you should really start getting standings. And because, the cream are going to, keep going through this first pass where you're getting all these people. And imagine you do a winner's bracket where you have all the winners now face each other. It's going to be interesting. You know what I mean? And it's funny because Frank won't be in it because Frank's in the loser's bracket. Mm-hmm. He's in the loser's bracket.
We have we have stuff in the works. I'm just saying, nothing's completely finalized, but stuff is definitely being worked through.
Listen, I am like the Washington Nationals who just defeated the Houston Astros to fight them cheating. Frank drinking his performance-enhancing substance, using his stats.
You won. What are you doing?
I am your hero. I am your savior. I am the hot man. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Well, I can't.
Grew up in my mouth again. Grew up in my mouth again.
Thank you, there, Brandon. Stay tuned after we're done live, and we'll see you here in a hot minute. Thank you again.
And you want this, don't you? You want this. Come and get it.
And Brandon, where can we find you in the future? What can we do to stay kind of up to date and everything?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BrandonHanna07. You can also find me every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific time over on the Popcorn Talk Network. I'm a host on Box Office Breakdown. I'm just Brandon over there, as the ladies say. And you can also find me hosting 2 after shows at AfterBuzz TV right now. If you are fans of Briar Patch, are you a fan of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist? I also moderate 2 panels for those shows as well over at AfterBuzz. Also on Sundays, 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. respectively. Check those out. And and I think that's about it.
I love Splash Mountain.
Stay in school.
Splash Mountain's fun. When you go down the Briar Patch at the end, is that what we're talking about? It's like a Splash Mountain.
No, we're talking about the Briar Patch in Star Trek Insurrection.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Hashtag.
Yeah.
You're going to do the Riker maneuver, like Brer Rabbit, huh?
Is that the one with the lightsabers?
No.
Throwing up in the mouth again. Throwing up in the mouth again.
The glow sticks, right?
Glow sticks, laser swords. As young
thank
Jake
you
Lloyd.
so much, Brandon. Check out those shows. They're so much fun, and we'll chat here pretty soon. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And then there were 2, and then there's the loser. Just kidding. We love you, Frank. How you feeling? You feeling like Dan Murrell after a guy knocked him out, or what?
No, because I was never proclaimed the greatest. So I don't.
Oh, you were. This was going. And you had Robert Parker level. Let me just to put the knife and just kind of gouge it further. You were billed as one of the top.
You think you're turning the knife, but I never debated any. I mean, I talk to people. I tweet. I on Facebook. I say my points and I leave.
How many episodes of the Rundown have you been on?
Yeah, but that's analyzed. It's not
how many?
really
How
debating.
many? How many?
Like I don't know, 100 and
100.
What are we on?
I don't know. I'm just being a judge. Congratulations.
No, I'll say once in the first question, it's like what are you gonna do about that one?
You had a tough go. Up top.
It was, and look, I'll say I was looking forward to that challenge to see if I could somehow do it, because that, and if that was like the only point I won this entire match, I would have felt like the winner already, because you would have to be an absolute moron to lose that argument. You really would. And Brandon's not a moron, so I was fairly confident. I was fairly confident that I was going to lose that one right off the bat, and that's fine. The second one I thought was look. I'll say honestly, I think Chandru kind of threw me a bone there, or Brandon threw me a bone there picking Chandru. So I mean, I still don't know how it would have went if he pick somebody else. And then that last question, I think if I approached it on a more serious level as opposed to just kind of like a jokey kind of band type of thing, I would have picked like David B and like Janine and all these other people that actually play music.
Yeah, you should have Janine in there, or Miss Movies.
Yeah.
How do you not have Miss Movies in there? That's a question I have for you then.
Yeah.
Going back, would you have made any different choices for any of your questions here now that you're in the losers bracket? Would you pick differently for the upset? Would you pick differently for this final question here?
The upset one, there's nothing you can do about that one. I mean, the obvious answer, anyone you ask who knows this game is going to say Andrew Ghai defeating Dan Murrell's the greatest upset of all time. Even I agree with that. Like I'm like trying to argue against my own self, and it's like that's not easy.
I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, sure, it's definitely one of my favorite upsets of all time, but I'm not going to lie. Going into that, you definitely brought to light some things that I didn't really think about before.
Sure.
And I actually, when I watched it, I rewatched some of the matches, and watching the Dan Murrell versus Ghai match, it's like watching a car crash. You're like, it's happening. You know it's gonna happen, and you're like, oh shit, it actually happened. But now that being said, versus like the Howard Ellis match, that one based on your arguments, I was like, holy shit. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, that ended up being. To me, I would have voted. I actually personally would have voted in favor of you.
With those consequences at the end too, yeah.
Just because specifically, it came down to, like you mentioned, it was, to me, it felt much more of an upset, based on especially your kind of description, and also, like it was much more. I don't want to say unexpected, but at the same time, they went neck and neck until sudden death.
Yeah,
and versus the Ghai match. I mean, that happened like within like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's also what's the big shocker of that.
It's also the most recent one that people can recall. That's like the hugest upset. That I mean, yes, Stacey Howard did upset Mark Riley recently or last year, but people still always will. It's the most memorable upset, even if you could make an argument for Stacey Howard over Mark Ellis. It's so. I did enjoy that challenge. I mean, so that was fun. I thought I actually did pretty good, all things considered. The hill.
You started out basically at a disadvantage. You know what I mean? It was a handicap match, but you climbed back with the lawn, and you had good arguments with the Lon Harris one. And I think the dogs were your undoing, though, man. You went puppy instead of vocals.
With the titles and everything, Hotel California, Bark This Way. That was pretty great, though. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, obviously, we're in a group where it's very focused on Sen Live and everything. So there is already, people can already picture it so well. Obviously,
we need t-shirt. We need band shirts for both of them anyway.
Absolutely. I want to drop a stupid amount of money for both of these live events.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Just going to wrap things up with you, Frank. Where can we find you and everything you're doing with Schmoedown Rundown, your amazing, podcast with Brad, and everything and beyond?
Yeah, obviously Schmoedown Rundown every Saturday, Sunday. Also, check schmoedownlive.com. I update it with stats and all the time. Actually, another point, I really didn't use a whole lot of stats this episode. I really didn't.
That's true.
And that was a conscious effort on my part to see how that would go. Anyways,
that went well for you. You got the win. No, you didn't.
No. Because I didn't want to use performance enhancing arguments.
There you go. Yeah.
What else can you find? Yeah, just Instagram and Twitter, FrankyJ29, and a free for all.
Well, yay, and you're
I'll be there. I'm not playing. I'll be.
No, we got. It's early in the works, but if you like the interplay between me, Frank, and Hannah, we got some stuff in the works for the fans that they're going to really enjoy it. Where we're going to get on the horn and yell at each other about other topics. So keep your eyes out on that, especially if you enjoyed us basically going at each other's throats the whole time, because that's probably what it will be when we disagree with everything.
A little more measured, I think. But
when you guys are both wrong and I'm always right.
Right.
That's just your Hannah talking. That's
my inner
Hannah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Frank. We really appreciate it. You did amazing going in today. And I know everyone had like these really, really high expectations. And I know you're definitely, trying to challenge yourself, pretty consistently, not doing the numbers and everything. So amazing, amazing both ends. But, like you said, can't wait to see you over at Free For All. That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And please hang tight after we get done recording for a wee bit, and we're going to get done. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, buddy. Now he's here hearing me anyway. Where are you? Stay out of my room.
Echo.
That was fun.
Yeah. It's like, how do you feel like completely like done with your first judgment?
Yeah, I hope I did well. I know that Ellis challenged me to a judge off, so we'll see if you can get him in the judge's chair. Going in, I just wanted I wanted to make sure, like, for me, I didn't want to influence anything one way or the other. So I was like kind of taking notes and stuff like that, and like what I would do, which makes me feel like maybe I would be good on the show, or I'd at least like to give myself a shot. Because there were just certain moments. I think one thing that I love about these debates is if one person says the one wrong thing, like in that first one talking about how Stacey was underrated. Well, if Stacey's underrated, then that's not really that shouldn't be an upset because of all the, you know what I mean? Where at the time, Ghai was not underrated. I mean, he was one of the best as far as on the mic and stuff like that. And he had every confidence that he was going to win, but no one else had it. So I think it was a lot of fun. Thank you for letting me have it. Hopefully you don't, what was the word? Yip at me? Did you yip at me again? Hopefully I'm okay.
Yipped at you.
Yeah.
That's just my voice.
Yeah.
That's just my personality. I yip at everyone. I yip at my cat. I mean, you from my cat.
But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to mix it up with you guys. It's fun, being on here. And I think that both of them, I honestly, like, I loved how, to give you an idea of how fun it is to watch this show live for anybody who's watching it recorded or listening to it. I mean, that it was going back and forth literally up until we called it and we answered it. When one person was talking, the graphs were going the opposite way, and then they stopped talking, and then it was started. It was great. It felt like a November in the during the election, and so anyways, yeah, it was fun. So thank you, and I'm happy to do it again anytime soon. So
yeah, well, you are definitely getting a lot of love in the chat. Parody is saying himself, Champ, you did awesome co-hosting. So yeah,
thank you.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to have you on competing against Hannah, and having you back on again in general. It's gonna be so much fun with some of our future stuff we're working on.
Sure.
But also, last but not least, where can we find you?
You can find me at Kev Smets I almost gave my. That's not my old email address, so no one could reach me at that anyway. Here's my social security number and my phone number.
And my credit card info.
Yeah, exactly. Kev Smets on Twitter, and then I also have Kev Smets on Instagram, and we also have the KOTOR movie trilogy. If any of you are Star Wars fans and you are a fan of the Knights of the Old Republic movies, we've done. There's a full. I think we hit 10,000 subscribers almost. For the Knights of the Old Republic. If you just search KOTOR movie trilogy, you'll find it on YouTube. And we've made movies based out of the lore of Knights of the Old Republic. We're working on a great Revan script right now, which is based on Revan. If you don't follow Star Wars, you don't know what I'm saying. But the fans that are diehard KOTOR fans will absolutely know what I'm talking about. We're doing a full web series about Revan. It's going to be great. And then we got some other great content too coming out that I can't really announce quite yet. And then of course, one thing I want to be is a fighting champion. So we're hoping that Mara gets 100% better, so I can get here and get on stage and answer some questions correctly. I haven't missed a question since Chandru, so I'm looking forward to that challenge. I'm excited for my faction. I'm excited for Robert Parker when he has his match coming up, and then all the great things for the season. It's the new era. It's the new season. Congrats for you guys as well. I think it's a new era for Call to Action. You guys won that. Won that slice. And now you guys are taking it to the next level, and you look to be repeat winners. So congratulations on everything, you guys, and to the fans and everything else. I look forward to seeing you guys out there, hopefully when I can compete sometime soon. I'm itchy. Everybody knows I'm itching to fight, so I'm ready to go.
That you can't say the truth more so. That's for sure. We're definitely working hard here at the Call to Action podcast. I am Alex Mack, hosting Schmoebates every single week on Wednesday evenings at 9:30 Central, usually, except today. But regardless, I really appreciate all these brand new names and faces and all that, hanging out with us today. So we really appreciate you guys. You can definitely find us now in audio form, which is definitely a process trying to do. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and a whole bunch of places. I actually have links down below, but also I actually participated. Well, one of my competitors participated in this wonderful charity match. I actually have linked it down below, so please check that out. So you can potentially donate to them, St. Baldrick's Foundation, to help support children going through the process of going through their illnesses. So please donate to that if you can. It's wonderful. From the movie trivia face-off group, so amazing on there. And yeah, so we got that. We also check us out on Facebook at our group. That's where our Facebook page that's where you voted. So if you're already on that page, might as well hit that like page, right there.
Yeah, do that. Smash that like button, as Video Drew would say. Yes. Smash the like button.
Smash the like and subscribe to this one. And we try very hard here at Call to Action. So we thank you so much. We love you so much. And we'll see y'all soon. Cheers.
See you later.